be slightly different. I thought I'd read it from a page, and you'll see me reading it from a page. Now, this one is called Death by Misadventure. The last thing that I remember, and I do not use this metaphorically, is struggling for breath under a pillow. There was far too much whiskey in my system for my resistance to have any effect, but alcohol or not, the memory of my struggle is real and not imagined, as some of the detective theories might have thought. Oops. Better move that a little bit. Oh dear. Okey-doke. Ah, hell. I'm jumping the gun. Wait, let me rewind a little to the night of my murder. Hi, I am Rita, or Chad as my friends call me. As of right now, I am a ghost, teetering between the earth below me and the gates to heaven and hell just above me, because I have unfinished business. I need to resolve who was the asshole who smothered me that night. It was a Saturday night in July night in Mumbai, a best spent indoors, so I had invited some of my close people. My brother, Rantir, his wife Sajana. Sanju was a common family friend, and very soon she moved from family friend to family. As of right now, Sandhir and Sanju have an open marriage, and they swing it as much as swing it. Randhir is just managing with the allowances from his share of my parents' inheritance, and is resentful that they did not earn enough for the luxurious life he deserved. Sanju tried in the beginning of the marriage to ignite some kind of fervor for estate building in my brother, but like a lot of things that she turned to in life, she could not finish what she started. Her marriage might just be an exception to this trend, I cruelly thought that night. Besides this couple, I had another couple over. Two of my best friends married each other. Talk about saving on parting costs. Maureen, Samir, and I were in school and college together. We have done far too many things together. Yes, even that. For the longest time, Samir played musical chairs between Maureen and I for his final marriage vows, but the time he decided it was going to be good old chats, I was too fed up and observed that a good friend is better than a husband whose fickle affections could easily add the adjective jealous to any self-respecting woman. Hence, I am still single, whereas Maureen and Samir are a couple. Unlike my brother, who decided to take the cash and the property, I was left with the family's antique and artifacts business. A business that I turned out to be good at. Combining this with the digital success of our artifacts business, my inheritance has more than quadrupled. Something that Rantir lightly teases me about, but I'm certain that below that surface of teasing, his feelings are anything but light. You may call me lucky here. I am wealthy, single, I have solid friends. But hey, I was killed at 42, so you can take that luck you feel for me and shove it where the moon never revolves. Enough digressions. Let's get back to the Saturday night when I was murdered. Did I mention it? It was July in Mumbai. It was quite cosy to sit with drinks. I'd missed the heavy downpour outside. We were winding down for the night. Our last discussion appropriately was the best method of offing someone. We were still undecided amongst cutting the jugular vein, an exotic poison, and smothering with a pillow when I heard Sanju snoring. was signal enough. We decided to call it a night. I went into my bedroom. Randy and Sanju went into one of the guest bedrooms. Maureen and Samir, relatively sober, walked into the study that doubled as a bedroom because of sturdy sofa-cum bed, an item that every Mumbai house is incomplete without. Thankfully, I could just totter around my house because of my super efficient living help. That reminds me, there was another person, Komal. She lived with me in her servant's room and managed my house. Her only child, who had been living with us since his infancy, was recently put up in a boarding school on my insistence. I did not want to worry about a 9-year-old boy calling his friends over for games or such things in my absence. Consequently, that night when I went to sleep, after a reasonably long discussion that started from classical detective books and ended with the best way to kill someone with minimum forensic evidence, I was surrounded by people who loved me, but had an equally strong reason to loathe me. After all, the capacity for extreme desire is a pendulum that can be swung from one end to the other with a small touch. Nevertheless, when I did die and was trying to get out of the confines of my climate control apartment, I was firstly surprised that someone had killed me, and since all the manners of exit for my vaporous self were closed, I was doubly surprised that it was someone out of the 5 people in the house. I tried to follow the investigation of my murder, which was ruled as death by misadventure, fancy speak for too much alcohol killed her, but I was certain about the smothering, and I shall not live in peace. Okay, shoot me for this error. Till I find this double-faced, lying, deceitful mongrel who could only creep on me during the night when my defences were down. Patiently, I have waited for everyone to die, and now all 6 of us are dead along with the lead detective Zahira. It is time for me to ask questions and find that person, for it's well known that the dead cannot die, and the dead definitely cannot lie. I have manifested a passable round table around which we are sitting. It is typical of my brother to be the most impatient, and he starts. I didn't know there was a Miss Marple in you. That may or may not be true, I respond, but we need to find out whether there is a Ted Bundy in you. Always heavy-handed with the melodrama chants. Such a peaceful death, and you talk about serial killers whose victim died gruesome death. It is Maureen now who makes her anger felt. No one has liked this weight, and I want to tell them that not even I like this weight. Instead, I say nothing. I quickly start with my friends. The treachery will hurt me the most, so I want to remove them from the circle of suspicion as soon as possible. Maureen and Samir, did any of you kill me that night? Do tell me how you spent the night and leave out the sex, if, however unlikely, the sex did take place. Maureen is the first to respond. What humbug! We were your guests that night, and look at your hospitality making us wait for so many years, when most likely you drank yourself to death that night. Samir and I were together the whole night. You know I am a light sleeper. I would have known if Samir would have woken up. Neither I nor Samir killed you. I regret that I did carry to my grave. Samir agreed quickly. Why don't you accept that you all did on alcohol? If someone might have killed you, it could easily be around here. Your death did lead to a celebration of excess for him. Why don't you confess around here, so that we can all be on our way? Randy, who was just yawning, now rubbed his eyes. What, me? I murdered someone so efficiently that it didn't even look like murder. Come on, Chance, you know me well enough to know that I cannot even plan the boiling of an egg. I mean, I do graciously accept this compliment of the perfect murder, thanks, but no thanks. You know what? Let's ask Sanju. After all, her snoring might just be a farce. Now everyone was looking at Sanju. In the meantime, Sanju is pissed and waiting to pounce on her husband Rati. What kind of a husband are you? You know, now I am disappointed that I did not smother you and you finally died because your bungee rope snapped. Turning to Chats, she continued, frankly, I was too tired and completely bored with your crime thriller conversation. I slept soundly till the alarm of the death was raised and my sound sleep was spoiled. Why don't you ask Kamal? You turned her only child out of the house. I would have easily killed you for that if it was my 9-year-old. Kamal, who was trying to make herself as compact and as nondescript as possible throughout the discussion, shivered now when all eyes were upon her. She spoke. Ma'am, you know how killing even a cockroach or a lizard was difficult for me. How could I have smothered you? Believe me, I did not kill you. I would never kill you. Now everyone was looking at me, their stares taunting me with the fertility of my endeavour. I whispered, so I imagined the smothering. It was only the alcohol. Shit. I am so sorry, everyone. A better person would have burst into tears at this precise moment, and I am grateful that I'm not that person. Before angry recriminations poured in, Zahira, the lead detective, was kind enough to cough mildly. I think you called this round table conference a little too early. The night you were killed, there was one more person in the house. Kamal's son, Abhishek. He was not happy in his boarding school, and this was his third escape. I do not know for certain whether he killed you, but consider this. And here the silly lady had the temerity to pause and look around, enjoying this dramatic moment at my expense. I could have killed her if she wasn't already dead. Consider what? I barked. Abhishek is right now in jail for the murder of at least 16 women, all of them by smothering. As a crime branch inspector, I think he started his smothering career at the tender age of 9 by killing the woman who separated him from his mother. It was only when Kamal started sobbing wholeheartedly that I realized that I had asked her the wrong question. Well, so it was Kamal's son after all. That was